Dustin, my man, what is going on? First of all, let me say thank you for coming on. We are fortunate to have you, but how are you tonight?
Good. Blessed to be on here. Can't wait to talk some baseball and have some fun with you guys.
Absolutely. We're going to start off with the fun first, baseball second. We got to start off with some things that we know, get you going. Let's get some icebreakers in here. So, Jim kind of mentioned it before we came on. Having a Southern Miss guest has been a long time coming. You're the first one. You're popping the cherry here for Southern Miss baseball players. So we're gonna have to judge your answers. We're gonna judge the whole Southern Miss baseball program. We're gonna judge Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Everybody's getting judged based on what your answers are, Dustin. So there's no pressure.
No pressure.
We're gonna start it off with this: favorite musician or band?
Oh, little baby for sure.
You know,
I go with him. That's my guy all the time.
bet. Okay. So, Lil Baby, what's your favorite Lil Baby song? Like, you want to get hype? What's the one you put on?
I'm probably going pop out off his new album with Nardo Wick.
I do like it. I have teenage kids, so I've heard all the Lil Babies. Gets us hype. Gets us hype. We got softball player in the family, so we definitely have some walkout songs to Lil Baby. You gotta censor a lot of Lil Babies, though.
Yeah, you do. You gotta get the clean version, but
You do.
not when
Nobody
you're in the
wants
car
that.
by yourself.
No, definitely not. All right. So, what's the last concert you went to?
Oh, Jason Aldean in New Orleans. In about November, I went.
All right, Dustin, come clean, man. How many girls was there, dog? What was the ratio? We talking like 80-20?
I probably 85-15.
I've been to a Jason Aldean concert. That's why I already knew the answer to the question. My man he brings them out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah,
All
he
right.
does.
So what's your favorite Jason Aldean song?
Ooh,
You have a
actually,
favorite.
yeah. I know I got some slower ones I like, but I got one that gets me going. It's actually my pitch and walk up song, "Lights Come On." It gets me going a little bit. So,
I like it. I can get down with
yeah,
some Jason Aldean and Lil Baby. So I'm like you, man.
yeah,
Versatile, baby.
yeah. I can listen to it all.
Bad. All right, man. So the next question is, what's your favorite movie of all time?
Ooh, Creed 2. I know Creed 3 finna come out. Can't wait to go watch that. But
You gonna watch
Creed
it in the
2,
theater when it comes out?
yeah. I'm not a big movie theater guy, but that one come out, I gotta go.
Bet. All right. So you said Creed 2. Do you have a favorite baseball movie being a baseball guy?
Uh, probably The Sandlot. Brings me
Solid.
back to when I was a little kid watching that a bunch. Uh, yeah, that one sticks out the
He
most to me.
he won me over easily just with that answer.
No doubt. Sandlot's a solid answer. A lot of good. There's so many good baseball movies, man, but that's a solid one. So, what's the last? You said you're not a big movie theater guy. What's the last movie you went to in a theater?
Avatar, that last Avatar. I went with my girlfriend's family. We went and
Man,
they talked me into going to that, and that was probably the longest movie I've ever sat through.
bruh, I
That's
done, I
pretty
done, I done fell
pretty
asleep
terrible.
6 times. I done took a nap, and I woke up the next
Yeah,
morning, took a shower, came back. The movie's still on.
yeah. I took about 45-minute nap, and her dad asked me if the movie was good.
Yeah. What
Oh,
did you
it's
What did you say? Just
I
curious.
said, yeah. I said, yeah. It looks great.
Man, you lied to that man right to his face.
Well, the best
oh
Uh,
part was we saw it in 3D, so I had the glasses on, so you couldn't tell if I was asleep or not anyway.
oh, we didn't have all 3D. We just went straight up.
look, my kids already know if I take them to a movie, like don't even look over here. I'm snooze, like because now we got the movie theater seats that like recline all the way back.
Hmm.
And it's a wrap. Like once I get a little food on my belly, now they got a cafe in there. They bring you chicken and
Yep.
man, it's a wrap. It's over. Don't even look over here.
I had
But
some sour worms and a Dr Pepper. I got that in me, and I was out.
bet. See, that's what I do too. I start off, might get something to eat depending on, but I'm always gonna get the sour worms. Got to get the big Dr Pepper with the free
Yep.
refills that I can't even get another refill because as you get older, you can't hold it. I got to go pee like 6 times, and that messes up my nap, Dustin. So I can't be doing all that. All right, last question before we go to Daniel. Favorite athlete growing up?
Probably Manny Machado. Still my favorite one to this day.
Manny Machado. That is a first time answer. Not a bad one at all though. Machado, he's him. He's that dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Manny Machado. Why you think it's Manny Machado, or why is it Manny Machado?
I don't know if you guys know, but my dad coaches in the major leagues, and coaches for the Phillies right now. But when I was growing up, he was with the Orioles and coached Manny when he just got drafted by the Orioles when he was 17, and then all the way up through the minor leagues. And then when Manny got called up to the big leagues, my dad actually got a promotion to the big league club. So I grew up with him for like 10 years, and I got him in my phone, my contacts, and we're boys. So
Hold up.
that's my favorite.
Is he the most famous person you have in your phone?
Yeah, probably.
Probably. So, like,
Yeah.
I mean, you got Jason Aldean in there?
No, I ain't got Jason.
Okay.
No, Manny's up there.
Little baby not in there?
No, but little baby ain't in there. I'd be backstage at a concert.
All right, Dustin, man, let's get into it, dude. Let's get to your story. Obviously, you're Hattiesburg now, but you mentioned dad, being a MLB coach. I imagine the travel and things like that, kind of just the nature of what comes with that, can be crazy. Not maybe what you typically get. So tell me a little bit about growing up. Where are you from?
I'm from Laurel, about 35 minutes away from Hattiesburg. Yeah, it's just I played baseball around there my whole life. He rarely was there. There was a lot of late night calls. I remember winning some tournaments with my buddies, and they would always have a picture, be able to take a picture with the trophy with their dad, and I would always wish that I could take one with mine. But yeah, it's probably helped me mature as a man, being the only boy in the house growing up. But he's also taught me everything I know about the game, so I can't complain that much.
So you talk about him, but you also talk about being the only boy in the house. Do you have sisters?
Yeah, I got one sister. She's actually living in Miami right now, so
She older, younger,
older.
older. So you're not only are you the baby, but you are, the predecessor of the name. And with dad, collegiately playing at Nicholls State and then in minor leagues and now the assistant coach for the Phillies. Um, you know, what was it like? Was there pressure from him or pressure you put on yourself to kind of live up to that?
Uh, I mean, maybe a little bit, but he always told me when I was little. He said, "Man, I'm not going to make you play baseball just because this is what I do. I want you to love it. If you love it, then I'm all for it, and I'll help you mature as a player. And obviously, I've grown to love it a lot. And maybe when I was little, growing up through high school, I didn't get all the recognition that I wanted to. I was a smaller guy, so I was putting a little pressure on myself. I was like, I'm this Major League Baseball coach's son who can't hit a home run or can't hit a double. But now that I've grown up a little bit, I take the pressure off of it and just play.
Yeah, I mean, at what point did you start growing? Yeah, or at what point did you start playing baseball? Because to me, it seems like with what your dad brings to the table, it's like you're coming out of the womb with a glove, a ball, and a bat.
Yeah, for sure. I know there's pictures of me when I was like 2 holding a bat and trying to play all the time. And then when I was like 3 or 4, he was managing in Double A, so I was on the bus with him on the field pregame. I was their bat boy, doing all that stuff.
Nice. So obviously, you spend your time. I mean, obviously, baseball is the thing. Were there any other sports that you play?
I actually played basketball up until 7th grade, just elementary stuff. In high school, I was asked to be the quarterback, but didn't really want to. Like I said, I was small. I was scared. Didn't want to go out there and get beat up. But looking back, I wish would have played quarterback and basketball. So definitely missed those times.
I like his honesty though.
Yeah, I mean, if you never played before, like I can see how there can be some fear and apprehension, but obviously, like with all things, it seems like you've taken the best route. So take me back to that time. Obviously, you were asked to play quarterback in high school, but what high school was it?
West Jones, which is right outside of Laurel in a little town called Soso. 5A school. We were actually really good at all sports: basketball, baseball, football. Won state championship my senior year in baseball, and lost the state championship in football. So,
Man, I mean, through the research, I mean, there's a lot out there as far as your accolades and in your career in high school. I mean, you were not only a shortstop, a dominant infielder, but you also could get it done on the mound. Pitching in your high school career, you went 18-2. You had a 1.3 ERA, which is just ridiculous. Your senior year alone, all right, you earned Mississippi Association Coaches Player of the Year, All District Player of the Year, and you hit, no big deal, 314, 9 doubles, 2 home runs, 26 RBIs, and you threw for an 8-1 record. Like, that's the kind of stuff that makes you elite. It puts you on this level and trajectory that's just different from other players. So let's start with this. Of the pitching, of the infield, which do you like better? Would you rather get some time on the bump, or you're good sitting back playing the infield, holding it down?
yeah, I'm good playing short for 9 innings, or if it was up to me, I play 8 innings and then come in and throw as hard as I could for 1 inning. But we might. I think that's what we're looking for this year. I might get a little time on the back end, but yeah. So I love playing shortstop, man. I love hitting. I don't know. I mean, hitting's the hardest thing in the world to do. So, and I'm decent at it, so I might as well keep doing it.
If he
Make
gets
it look
to do,
kind of easy.
yeah, if he gets to do that, we talked to Jack Brannigan about it from Notre Dame. It's such an interesting dynamic. You're over there in the infield, and then the coach gives you the heads up that you're fixing to pitch in a minute. That's just it's so crazy.
Why we gotta talk about Jack Brannigan?
Calm down, calm down. Hey, this dude eliminated my team. I don't want to hear it.
So did Jack Brannigan, almost single-handedly.
So, Dustin, was that a conversation that you had with the coach? I'm just curious, where you go, hey, I feel like I can throw a little bit and help us win more games, because it's not like you guys aren't winning at a high level. Like, you're the best team in Mississippi. For the majority of the season, it took a miraculous entry into the tournament and a hot streak for Ole Miss to really do what they did. So is that a conversation that you spark with the coach, or does the coach come to you and go, hey, Dustin, I think we might try to do this year?
So out of high school, obviously, I was probably more dominant as a pitcher in high school. So I was a dual guy coming to college. My freshman fall, I closed in our fall games against Alabama and William Carey. We went to Christmas break, and I was supposed to be our midweek guy.
I don't want
to
jump too far into the college. Jim's going to get to that. I was just curious if that was a conversation that you guys had prior to going, or that's something that you initiated.
Yeah, that was just it's been the plan all along.
Gotcha. So, talking a little bit more about your high school career. You saw success at both, the infield and pitching. What do you think your contribution was bigger at, in the infield defensively or on the bump?
Probably on the bump. I felt like when I was on the mound in high school, the game was over as soon as I walked out of the clubhouse. But I think obviously my glove was there, but like I said, I was smaller, so I didn't feel like I could change the game like in the blink of an eye hitting wise. So I feel like I was more dominant pitching.
So do you think that's it? If you weren't pitching, do you think that really diminishes or really eliminates the opportunity to win a state title? I'm just trying to gauge what is the level of talent on this high school team. Obviously, if you remove you from one of those areas, it's going to take a hit. But were y'all good enough to go? We would have won it no matter what.
I mean, it would have been close. It wouldn't have been a cakewalk through the playoffs, but I think we might have gotten it done. We had a really good high school team, and 5A was kind of slacking that year. But I think we could have still got it done.
So when you make this journey and this run to that state title, take me through the season and that game in particular. When you look back on it now, is that a big deal to you, or is it just kind of in the moment it was big? Now it was just kind of, a day.
No, I think it's bigger. I think about it more now, I feel like, than I did back then, now that I've gotten a little older, as I've matured. But it was actually really special because I pitched game one, and then my high school coach brought me out after 6 2/3, and I got a standing ovation, walked to shortstop, tears rolling down my eye. And then game two is the next day. We win 5-0, and we're celebrating. And I look over to the dugout, and my dad's walking on the field, and it's May, and he's usually in a major city right then, and that was really special. So probably one of the cooler state championship stories. But yeah, so I think about it all the time.
That's unbelievable. I mean, obviously there is a lot of sacrifice on really everybody's part when your dad has a job, or any family has a job where it takes one of the members out of the household. So I can only imagine how special that day was, that you go into the day thinking, I'm win or lose, I'm going to have to do this, basically on my own, or, with the people that have always been there. And then all of a sudden you look up and bam, it's got to be an emotional ride, right?
Oh yeah, like my high school coach was hugging me, and he said, "Look over there." And I looked over there, and I just like fell to my knees, started crying, and then walked over, hugged him, and he said, "I'm so proud of you. You did something I've never done." So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it was awesome.
Special moment you'll never forget, I'm sure. So with the obviously you got skills, you got talent, you got, the opportunity maybe that, with the profession that your dad's in, to have like looks and people see you, that maybe not every other player would get. But at what point do colleges start going, hey man, Dustin, I think you need to start looking at coming here?
Yeah, Southern Miss called when I was in ninth grade, actually, and then Mississippi State jumped on me late. Uh, After I was already committed to Southern Miss, Tulane, um, Southeastern Nichols was on me from like ninth grade, but probably ninth grade. I know I've heard stories that people are on kids now in seventh grade or eighth grade, which is, I feel like it's kind of crazy, but
Yeah, we had a guest, last episode, and she talked about how, you know, you can't even drive a car and you're having to decide, on a school and where you're going to spend not the next 4 years, but you got to go 4 years. And then those next
yeah,
4 years is what you're looking at. She's like, I wasn't mature enough to even, um, make it home, make my curfew on time, much less decide where I'm going to go to college. So, um, I think you share a lot of the sentiments that other high level athletes do, and the fact that it's not ridiculous. I guess it's good to be, wanted, and it's nice to get acknowledged for your talents, but at some point, like, what are we doing? Are we gonna offer, you know, if LeBron James was to have a son now, are we going to go ahead and offer that kid a 4 year ride, in
yeah,
the womb? Like, it's crazy, but
Well, Daniel, I think when we talk to these different guests, it's all situational, right? Obviously, travel ball plays a big role into it. What high school you go to, because you got guys like, I think about Doug Nikhazy, who said he was offered going into his eighth grade year, but then you got guys like we had Ben Joyce, who didn't have anybody even talk to him until the end of his senior year. So, like, it just really all depends on circumstances.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely being in the right place at the right time. It's what other teams need. It's region, it's how you market yourself, how you put yourself out there. I guess for you, Dustin, was it, you mentioned Nickel State. Obviously, your dad goes to Nickel State, so I can see the reasoning for them. Southern Miss, your coach Trey Sutton was a former Golden Eagle. I'm sure was there something to do with him and that relationship that maybe helped push you in that direction?
I've been asked that a bunch. I mean, obviously he nagged me about it, but at the end of the day, me and him were close enough to where he wanted me to make the best decision for my family. And I remember multiple times, like my dad wasn't there, so me and him sat down and we would put like the pros and cons of each college and which decision I was going to make. And obviously, picking Southern Miss was the best option. And yeah, I mean, he pushed me a little bit, but all my family being that close, being able to come and watch me was a big part of it. And
So
yeah,
what was there? I mean, obviously, you said you put together this pros and cons list, and Southern Miss, you know, based on those lists, was the one for you. You mentioned one of the reasons, the proximity to home. But was there one thing in particular, or just a bunch of little things where you were like, "This is it. I'm going to Southern Miss."
yeah, like I said, they were the first team to come and show interest in me and offer me, so that really meant something to me, and I wanted to win, man. That's all I ever want to do is win. And we have a great history of winning, and obviously the last 2 years we've made deep runs, but it's I've always wanted to win, and they were on me from the beginning, so those three really stood out.
So, I mean, in Hattiesburg, we have guys, talk about coming from California to Mississippi, and it's a culture shock, but you're just from right down the road. So, when you're going to school there, obviously off the diamond, so to speak, I mean, is there any kind of transition, or is it, I mean, you're basically at home?
It's a little different actually. Like in Laurel, it's very small. It's we got one little Mexican restaurant that's slam full every night. Uh, but in Hattiesburg, we got restaurants that'll run you to $100. So it's a little different, but I've also traveled for my entire life, so it's not that I can adjust pretty well. But I've actually grown to love Hattiesburg a lot more than Laurel. But it's a little different, yeah.
Yeah, so we're obviously going to break down, the seasons, but I wanted to lead off the title of this episode is No Games Off, and including this year now, you've played and started in 147 games in your time in Southern Miss. Just how much pride do you take in that?
Yeah, that's I forgot who I was telling the other day, but I told him the best ability is availability. Uh, that's what I've always wanted to be known as, someone that's out there every day. Like actually yesterday we played UNO and I woke up and I had a fever and I felt like crap. I mean, and I missed BP. I went and got a steroid shot right before the game. Missed BP. Went out there and played, and then in like the sixth inning, we were up 12-0, and Coach Barry walks up to me and he says, "You want out? You want to come out?" And I said, "No, that ain't me." So I just stayed in and rested up today. But yeah, like I want to set. I just want to play every game. I wanted to do that since my freshman year, and luckily I was blessed enough to be in a lineup that early.
I mean, you just said something. I mean, you're a role model, whether you want to be or not, Dustin, because there are so many guys who, no matter what the sport is, they want to take days off. They feel like they need to take days off. And you're not that kind of guy. And you show what it's like to put your heart and effort into it, even when you're sick. You want to be out there for your team. You want to be able to do what you can every single day. And so I admire that. And that's an inspiration to the younger generation, no doubt.
I mean, he just had like a solid, 2 for 4 day, 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs, no big deal. 2 hits.
I mean, he needed a home run for it to be Jordan's flu game, but it was.
He was hot. He was hot, literally.
I hit the wall.
Needed the wind blowing out.
Yeah, I needed that.
So freshman season, only 16 games. Obviously, COVID shortened season. Instead of focusing on the negative of the season getting cut short, you're able to get your feet wet, learn some things. What did you take away just from getting to do those 16 games?
I took away that it was a whole new level. That's what I took away. Went into COVID and got in the weight room and I busted my butt. And, luckily I was blessed enough to walk into my freshman year with Matthew Guidry. He was our second baseman. He's been there for 5 years, and he really took me under his wing and showed me what it was like to be a Division I baseball player. So I realized that, like I said, I want to play every day, and I realized what I had to do that, and what I had to do to be successful at doing that.
Yeah, no doubt. And shout out to him because I love hearing those stories when guys, the iron sharpens iron. It's only going to make the team better. So sophomore year, started all 61 games at shortstop, and which you batted .279. Finished the year with a season best 9-game hitting streak in which you batted .364 with 3 doubles, home run, and 6 RBIs. So it seems like you really started to figure things out going towards the end of the year. What changed? Was it something in your approach, or was it just mental? What was it?
I used to check video early on in the year, and it would look like I was right on the ball, but I would be a tick under it. So I would talk to my dad and ask him what he thought, and he was like, "Why don't you tell yourself to swing down? If you're going to miss under it, why don't you swing down and try to backspin it?" And literally ever since then, it's changed dramatically, and I've backspun the balls better than I ever have since then, and it's got me on plane earlier, like all the new terms. But I think that right there changed everything.
Yeah, no doubt. And so, defensively, you had 8 errors on the season at shortstop in 61 games. Like I said, obviously that's not that bad, but I know when we talk to you guys of this caliber, is 8 something that bothered you and something that you really wanted to focus on?
For sure. I went back and looked at them, and I would be like, man, this one right here was just dumb. Just a lack of focus. And then I'd go down, and then I'd see another game with an error, and I'd be like, man, that was even dumber. And I was like, if I would have just caught the ball and played catch locked in, then I would have had 1 or 2 errors. Like it was just not being focused all the way. And that's something else that I've tried to get better at, is staying locked in throughout the whole game.
You feel like the scorekeeper hosed you on any of them?
Probably so.
I think so.
I just know it's something about shortstops, Randy. Anytime we talk to the shortstops, they could hit 2 home runs in the game, but if they have an error, they're still pissed off after the game.
Yeah, I mean, as a middle infielder, you can't, right? I mean, you're the anchor. Who was we had a Tennessee, the shortstop, the softball player, and she said that she had like 5 errors, but this year, the year after, she wins 1,000, and then she said, and I think our own home scorekeeper hosed me on a couple. I believe you, girl.
The reason I said the 2 home run thing, it was Jacob Gonzalez. I talked to him after the game. I forgot who they were playing, but he hit 2 home runs and he looked like his dog died. And I was like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "That error was inexcusable." And it's like, bro, you just hit 2 bombs and your team won.
Yo, but when you are elite with the leather like Dustin and Gonzalez, yeah, it's gonna eat you up.
Yeah, man. I mean, check this out.
Something off speed behind it. Ground ball left side. Oh, stabbed it short by Dickerson across the diamond. Oh, what a play. He got him. Oh, man. That's as good as I've seen this year.
I like that commentator. He's fiery.
I mean, when you get
I didn't see
talking, I mean, it's all audio. I mean, you don't have to see it. You feel it. Like, you can feel the passion that guy's bringing. Like, you don't even have to see the play, and you know that it's an amazing play. But, that's just kind of validation to what we're saying. Like, you take pride in being a great defender.
And
yeah, I definitely do.
So the game that really stood out to me, because especially in postseason, you talked about being a smaller guy, and Obviously, you put in the time in the weight room, you got bigger, and so in the postseason, you were able to homer and scored a season high 3 runs in a win over Southeast Missouri. In the regional, what was that game like, and be able to have that kind of game in that kind of situation?
Oh yeah, it was the regional at Ole Miss. I hit a homer, and then I know my next at bat I actually hit one to the warning track. So I was like, I don't know where I get all this juice from, but I like it. But yeah, it was awesome. I think that's a couple weeks after I had that talk with my dad, and that's when I finally got my bat rolling.
So, being that going to Oxford isn't that far from Hattiesburg, how good a showing did you have from your fan base for that regional?
Oh, it was amazing. Like I thought it was Pete Taylor North.
Nice. So, obviously that ended up ending. Obviously, you lost in regionals, unfortunately. But y'all had a lot of talent coming back, and this past season, y'all had a lot to look forward to. Team ended up going 47-19. Obviously, hosting the Super Regionals. You took it up another notch, riding that hot streak. I feel like if you look at how your season ended, and then you look at your stats going into the next year, it was a carryover. You batted 320 to go along with 24 doubles and 32 RBIs. So was that something, do you feel like that was? Obviously, you put in the work in the offseason, but you ended the last season hot, started the next season off high. It was a kind of a carryover.
Yeah, it definitely was. I think it started like first week of inter squads. I think I was locked into that approach that me and my dad talked about, and it carried on all throughout the season. And I'm really blessed for it.
So as far as team, we talk about, we don't just interview the guys. We discussed college baseball last year, and for the first half of the season, Southern Miss wasn't really getting the respect they deserved. And I know you guys have to see that. Did that give y'all a little extra chip on the shoulder?
Yeah, a little bit, but at the end of the year, if you take care of business, you'll get the respect you deserve. And at the end of the day, the end goal is to be the last team standing. So no matter how much respect you get, if you take care of business, you'll find your way there.
Yeah, no doubt. So gauging the kind of guy you are in the way that this episode's kind of gone, I have a feeling you'll know the answer to this question. I don't even have, like, I didn't have the answer. I've kind of formed it into a question. I was going to say something about you hitting safely in 23 or 24 straight games. Um, do you remember the game that you didn't, just because you were in such a groove?
Ooh, if you could have gave me like a little text earlier on in the day, I bet I could have remembered. But it's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, but nonetheless, man, 23 of 24 games you hit safely, man. What a streak. I figured just because of the kind of guy you are, you probably remembered that game. It probably pissed you off. You were like, I was
Yeah,
rolling.
I'm gonna find out later. I'm gonna just randomly think about it. It's gonna piss me off. So
It's all good. So you guys host a regional in Hattiesburg. I obviously mentioned, you send my team home. I gotta say, Dustin, boy, Hattiesburg for that regional, you're playing on the field. I'm just watching. Dude, it was hotter than hell there. It feel that way for you on the field?
oh my lord, it was it was miserable.
Yeah, so like there's nothing worse than, like, man, I ended up standing at the fence and watching. I couldn't sit next to anybody. I was sticky. It's what I was like, man, baseball's supposed to be enjoyable. I was like, I can't do this. And I'm surrounded by Southern Miss fans, couldn't have it. But I want to ask you, obviously your backs were against the wall. Must win situation, have to beat LSU back-to-back games. What I want to know is what Coach Barry's message was to you guys in that moment.
It started when they had that comeback win and the I don't know what day it was, Saturday night. They came back in the ninth. I mean that hurt. That one did. We were 1 inning or 3 outs away or whatever from being in the driver's seat, but when they punched us like that, we had no choice but to wake up, and we knew our crowd was going to be there, and it was our regional, so we had no other choice. He said, "You can't win them all if you don't win this first one tomorrow against Kennesaw State." So and they took us to the wire. I think we walked them off in the 10th or 9th, and then I know Justin Storm saved us, saved our bullpen and everything. I think he pitched like 4 1/3 or 5 1/3 that Sunday night to go to Monday.
Yeah, I mean, y'all were given. We talked to guys about the regional draws they get. I mean, Kennesaw State, we had actually had Josh Hatcher and Tyler Simon on as guests, and then obviously we know LSU, and so man, and even Army wasn't an easy out. Y'all got one hell of a regional draw in there. So for y'all to come out on top and like you said, you lost that game to LSU, and I think a lot of people, not just me as an LSU fan, but a lot of people thought y'all weren't going to be able to beat LSU 2 times in a row. Obviously, y'all don't believe that, but that's what most people believe. So y'all to overcome that adversity, overcome such a hard regional, obviously punch your ticket to super regionals. So how excited were y'all? Obviously, it did not go the way you wanted, but regardless of the outcome, how excited were y'all that it was Ole Miss of all teams coming to your house after the previous year you had to go to their house?
Yeah, like we found that out, and we were super pumped. I know about half the team hates flying, so when we found out we were staying at the crib, we were pumped. Obviously, it didn't end near as how we wanted it to, but we thought we had a great chance of going against a team we knew very well from the past year and playing them 2 times during the year. But yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, if you look at it and throughout the entire season, you are the better team, and everybody knows the story. It's beating like a dead horse, but they just got hot, man, and it's just one of those things that happened, and y'all ran into, a wrecking ball. But y'all start this season obviously, and once again, a lot of guys returning back, high expectations from a lot of people. Y'all are now no longer under the radar. People are expecting big things from Southern Miss. Y'all start by sweeping Liberty and then taking care of business last night against New Orleans. You're batting .333 out the gate, no surprise. But tell our listeners about first tell us about your pitching staff, man, because that's what a lot of people talk about. And then give us some hitters that people need to have on everyone's radar.
Yeah, I know the pitching staff took a hit from last year. We lost about 9 guys to the draft, so that was the big question. We knew we had the whole lineup coming back. The pitching staff was the question, but everybody knows our pitching coach going to handle his. So they've been outstanding. I think we got the best ERA in the country right now. So it makes us be able to hit a lot easier too when you don't have to score but 1 run. I know we got our ace Tanner Hall from Baton Rouge. He's a beast, man. I can't say enough about him. That's my boy. And then
I
Matt
can't
Adams
say enough about a guy from Baton Rouge going to Southern Miss.
That makes a lot of sense. But and then Matt Adams, I grew. He was a freshman with me. He's my class, and he's matured to a weekend starter, and he's going to be great for us. Then we got Nico Mazza, who's a beast, man. He's up to 95, 96 on Sunday. So you might you lose Friday and Saturday to us, you're like, man, maybe their Sunday guy ain't worth anything, and then you got 95 coming at you. But our lineup is got everybody. It's got Pato, Sarge, Reese Ewing. We got Blake Johnson's been raking, man. But I know Matthew Etzel's getting a lot of credit out there, but I think he deserves a little more. That boy, the real deal.
Well, you guys, it seems like you're poised to make another run, but obviously this year, you got 2 more midweek games like you did last year against Ole Miss. Obviously, them coming off a national championship win, the target is on their back by everybody. But what does it mean to Southern Miss when they play teams like Ole Miss and Mississippi State?
Yeah, we just look at it as another game, man. Obviously, the stakes couldn't have been any higher last year when we had them in a super regional. So, obviously, we want to get them back a little bit for
Dustin,
taking care.
You're not gonna sit here and lie to me. That game ain't just another game. I know for a fact y'all got it marked on the calendar. That's a game. That's payback. That's redemption. Like it ain't gonna be a staff game. Y'all gonna try to win that.
Hey, I'll bet money we got a bunch of different guys. They gonna throw their guys at us because they know what we got coming.
Hey.
But it's yeah, obviously we want to take care of them, man. We want to beat them more than anyone. They put us out 2 years in a row, and I'm telling you, I don't really like them.
Now some truth's coming out.
Yeah, yeah, but looking at the game as a whole, like does coach make it like a big deal, or do any of the players make it a big deal, or is it truly business as usual? It's whoever shows up on the visitor dugout or on the other side of that field, that's the task at hand. That's who's in front of us.
Yeah, it's the coaches don't say anything different. Maybe some younger players maybe think it's a big deal that we're playing Ole Miss, an SEC school, or Mississippi State. And then obviously the media will be interviewing us all throughout the week, asking if we were all wanting to beat them for putting us out the past 2 years and looking for a headline to make. But man, the pregame meeting's the same as each game. He just tells us every game, don't play the opponent, play the game. And if you play the game, then you'll come out on top a lot.
Those are wise words. So, what happens when DBU comes to town? Dallas Baptist, I mean, obviously a different we know what they're capable of. We know that their level of success over the past probably 10 years. Now, not the clout that an SEC team coming in would have, but definitely a dangerous team, a team that is good, a team that you want to win. But y'all ready for that? Y'all ready for the smoke that DBU is going to bring? Because let me tell you, Dustin, they're going to bring it.
I know they bring it. They swept us last year.
Hey, y'all got to be ready for them. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, we're going to be ready for them. Shoot, I told them last year after we got swept on the road trip back, I said, hey, we got beat by the national champions. It's the best team I ever played.
They were that good?
Yeah, they were that good. And then they didn't even have a good year. I said, man, there's something going on.
They were down, man. They were down. We let DB here know about it too, because he likes to root for them boys.
I know they were on me every week. But I mean, that actually sparks a good question, man. Like, when you look back on last season, and you mentioned DBU, but is there a team that you played and you're like, that's the best team that we played all season, regardless of their outcome in the year? Like, who was the best team that you guys played last year?
I'm telling DBU.
DBU,
I'm telling you, man.
Stand by.
Their Friday guy, we played him, and we went back to the hotel, and we thought he was a first overall pick.
But yeah, they got up for that though. You think they got up for playing Southern Miss? I mean, they tend to get up playing the bigger schools. I'm not Southern Miss isn't an SEC school, but they're a really storied baseball, program, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what went on. I know we got a transfer from DBU from this year, and he said they were pumped to play us, obviously, with our history.
Yo, so this dude, they swept y'all, and then he's like, you know what? If I went over there.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Illinois, you took care of business against New Orleans last night, but you got Illinois on the horizon. Obviously, they're coming off a really, really rough time against Wake Forest. I don't know, man, if you know about Wake Forest, but they're pretty damn good. And
I see them all over social media.
Yeah.
What's his name with the long hair that can pitch?
They all of them.
Red Louder, though, is who he's talking.
Yeah. They can hit too.
Daniel, what's wild is that it was wild. Yeah, that's what I say. What's wild is we had Brock Wilkin on here, Dustin. I've been sitting there bragging about his home run total, and then I realized that the most in the nation is actually his teammate. I was like, dang. I was like, they got 3 dudes with 4 or more. Like, come on.
Yep.
Yeah, they legit.
So obviously Illinois is trying to get back on track. You're going to get their best effort. What's the message going into the weekend? Is it always the same? Just control what you can control. Play play the game, not the opponent, stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure. He's going to say the same stuff like he always does. But I mean, shoot, I hope we take 2 or 3 or sweep, and then they go win every game for the rest of the season, help our RPI.
There you go.
Keeping it real.
There you go.
I hate them for this week, but after this week, I'm gonna be a big fan.
Well, guess what? Now on this podcast, you get to play the game, not the opponent.
Yeah,
Okay.
man. We're going to get you into it. You're off the hot seat, man. We're not going to talk about baseball for another couple minutes. So this game is really simple, Dustin. We play it every week with every guest. It's called This or That. And I'm going to go through a series of questions. I'm going to give you 2 options, Dustin. And here are the rules. You cannot say neither, and you cannot say both, man. You down?
All right, let's roll.
Let's roll. All right, first one's going to be easy, man. Chicken or beef?
Chicken.
Chicken. That's the right answer. Even, I had some steak tonight. Ain't gonna lie, I'm a big steak guy, but if I had to pick, I'm probably going chicken, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
I saw Dustin on social media with his Cane's chicken.
Yeah, he's got to say chicken, right? He's
I
a
gotta
Cane's
say
ambassador.
chicken.
Yeah.
Yo, that's very true. So you mentioned earlier that there's some restaurants in Hattiesburg that run you up to 100. What's your favorite spot? No free shout outs.
I'm gonna have to say Sully's. If I want to go run my checkup, I'm gonna go to Sully's to get a ribeye. But I eat chicken about 6 days a week.
See, you said your favorite place, and it was beef, not chicken. I got you.
But
I'm the same as you, though. I'm the same as you. I would prefer chicken more than I want beef.
Randy, you tricked him into that, man. You dirty as hell.
You learn something when you get older. You don't get older by being dumb.
I'm not gonna go to Sully's and get a $15 piece of chicken.
No, I agree with you. Like, I could do chicken at the crib, but like I don't want to go and have you make my chicken. All right, so this is we kind of talked about this already. Which is bigger, or which would you rather play, Ole Miss or Mississippi State?
Ole Miss.
Bet we'll leave it at that. All right, next question: beach or lake?
Lake.
Really? Yeah. If you're going to the lake down in Laurel, Hattiesburg, what's the lake?
Canebrake Lake. Go get on a boat,
Lake.
jet ski, chill. I don't really like all the sand, the hot sand in the summer. I like sitting by a pool or being on the water on a boat or something.
Okay, I can dig it. All right, we're gonna get into some into the meat here. Gold jerseys or pinstripes?
Pinstripes.
That's your favorite one, period, bar none.
Period. That's my favorite one. Friday night pinstripes.
He's a traditionalist.
Can't beat it. Can't beat it.
I don't know. I like the one that I was going to tell you to put up against it, Randy. I like the black with the stars and stripes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's my number 2.
Yeah, that was the next one. Winner against black with stars and stripes. I think that you answered the question. You pinstripes first, then stars and stripes.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. We talked about this a little in our opening, but if you could pick any concert or any sporting event, which would you pick?
Oof, probably a little baby concert.
Over any sporting event in the world. I see, you know what? Your dad coaching in the major leagues. He's not coaching a World Series. Like, that doesn't really
I went
register
to the World Series, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, this, I think you cheated here.
Yeah,
so
no.
the question is,
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Maybe going to a Super Bowl might be legit.
My question would be, since you said little baby so quick, people always have an idea where they want to go see them at. Where would you want to go see little baby at?
Miami.
Laurel, Mississippi.
Laurel, Mississippi. Shoot. Probably Miami or probably somewhere in California.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, man. Now we're going to get into something that's going to have a little fun with. Would you rather be attacked by a grizzly bear or a tiger?
I mean, like, you want me to survive this?
You ain't surviving either.
Surviving neither. You want me to give what I think I'll survive?
Well, I don't know. Christian Scott told us he was going to outrun a grizzly bear, which is funny as hell because they run 35 miles an hour, so that ain't happening still.
I had to tell Scott he ain't doing it, man.
I mean, I guess a grizzly bear.
I asked this question actually the other day at my office, and the guy gave me a really good answer. He said, I would rather get attacked by a tiger because I probably won't see it coming and it'll end really quickly. Yeah. And I thought to myself, That's probably true. I do want to die quickly. I don't want the bear to like paw me, maul me.
But
And
that's
then, like,
ironic, Randy, because that's the exact reason why me and Daniel don't want to be attacked by the tiger. We don't want that stealth shit. Like, I want to see it coming. I want to know that I can put up a fight of some sort.
well, that's futile, but okay. Go ahead, boys. I want it to end quickly.
I don't want to be drooped in a grizzly bear mouth, just hanging there going, what are we gonna do here, man? You gonna finish this or?
Oh no, you would play dead, bro.
That's what Blake Burke said he'd do.
Blake Burke is the size of a grizzly bear. There's a difference.
I wouldn't. I don't know how much of a choice I would have.
Man, we lost our guest.
What? You hated that answer.
Damn,
said,
he
"All
had
right."
one question left.
What question? We might have to end it there.
Nah, he'll come back. There he is.
Look at that photo. Pinstripes.
Man, we should have known.
That man tapped out with one question left.
Yo, we got one.
Hey, what
question.
is
He
it?
was
I thought y'all
scared.
kicked me out.
No, we
Nah.
thought you left. We're like, damn, my man did not want to get attacked by either. He's out. All right.
He might quit. You know what? He might regret coming back when you give him the last one, though.
This one's good, man. This one's good. All right. Would you rather betray your best friend, like I'm talking homie till you die, or go to jail for a crime you did not commit?
Man, I can't-
This
I
ain't
can't
this
leave
ain't
my-
an overnighter, Dustin, either.
He's
some time.
3 to
rubbing
5.
that forehead. He's
We're talking 3 to
adjusting
5
that
though.
hat.
Hey, I can't betray my boy.
He's
Well,
the
I had to
first
eat it.
one. Everybody else is putting a knife in the back.
Dustin, these
Hey,
are
maybe they'll come.
Hey,
Maybe they'll come bail me out.
they gonna put something on the books. All right,
don't
look,
know,
these
man.
these are my boys you're looking at right now. Bro, I'm singing like a song, bro. I'm snitching. I don't even care if they did it. I'm snitching. And then last week, Jim had it was actually maybe Monday. He said, you know what? You guys got the kids a little younger. DB said, I don't care about they kids.
Yeah, no.
So that's how good of friends we are. We all went to high school together, man. Me and Daniel went to kindergarten together. And my man said, nope, sorry, bro.
You said you the one said you wouldn't do 3 minutes in jail for me. That's messed up.
I would not even walk into the jail. Justin. Wouldn't even like I had to go to the jail because a customer of mine, I asked, can we meet outside? There's nothing in there for me.
He said, excuse me, Mr. Jowers, can you just come to the foyer? Nope.
Nope. Is
The
DB in there?
The breezeway?
Yeah. No doubt. All right, man. So you ain't gonna betray the homie. You doing to do the hard time.
I'm gonna do the hard time for my dog.
Oh man, that's a homie right there.
You know what? We're gonna find out what kind of homie he is. I'm gonna bring back a throwback question from all the way from season 1. Dustin, if you could be the number 1 overall pick in the MLB draft, but you had to drop your friends, or you be the last pick in the draft, but you could keep your friends, which one you doing?
Last pick.
Liar.
No,
I'm gonna be with big leagues anyway, so I'm gonna get my money.
that's what I was gonna say. I think we got to take that part out because now he's in the big leagues. You know what I'm saying? Pop's name's out there. What if he gets to play for the Phillies?
But Daniel always says it. That's an $8 to $10 million difference, my guy.
It is, but look, he's gonna have the same thing. He said, "I'm gonna be a dog. I'm gonna get my shot, and if I do my job, I'm gonna get the respect I deserve."
And then I'm gonna have that $8 million.
Well,
Give me my 10.
I'm definitely turning y'all in and not going to jail. I'm definitely taking the first pick and dropping y'all's ass and everything else in between.
Look, wouldn't spend 3 seconds in jail, and I would not lose $1. Not $1. Actually, I would go to jail.
Hair.
I would go to jail long before I would lose any money.
Man, that's actually a good question.
Forming it up for next week. Next week's guest got it coming.
All right, you're off the hot seat, Dustin.
Hey,
Dustin,
you know what? And it'll be Tommy Troy from Stanford. Aren't they supposed to be educated out there at Stanford? Well, he'll think about it.
I mean, we've had some smart dudes on this show, man. I'm interested to see if Stanford's going to live up to their name. But Dustin, man, anything you want to plug or promote before you get out of here?
No, I'm good. I did my part.
Well, I had a feeling you were going to say that, so I got you covered. If y'all want to know what Dustin does on a Wednesday night, maybe he's on a podcast, maybe he's gaming, maybe he's just chilling at Cane's eating some chicken. Who knows? Go on over to Instagram, search at Dustin Dickerson. Or if you want to catch him and the Golden Eagles in action, you want to see what they're doing and just keep tabs on the Southern Miss baseball team, check out Southern Miss BSB, and you'll get all the updates from the baseball team there. Dustin, man, we wish you a great season, a healthy season, and nothing but the best, man. If there's anything we can do for you along the way, please reach out to us.
Man, appreciate y'all. I had a blast with y'all.
Absolutely. That's Dustin Dickerson, everybody. If you like hearing Dustin's story or you just like hearing us average Joes talk X's and O's, please like and share the podcast on Facebook. Retweet us on Twitter. Listen and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. As always, comments, ratings, feedback, thumbs up, likes, love, hugs, hearts, all that good stuff is always welcome. But guys, next week we are traveling out west. For the first time, we're going to have a Pac-12 school. We're going to be talking to Tommy Troy of Stanford baseball. It's going to be exciting times here on the podcast. Can't wait to see everybody next week. This has been the In Off the Bench podcast. As always, remember, strong bodies, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We're out.